Oh, yeah. If you want, maybe we can take it easy. I'm pushing up every and anytime you need me. G-Win, I'm not misleading. It's 8 a.m. You got me wishing you was with me. Press, full court press, you know what you need. Someone that's bout you, girl. I'm selfish, left side of your chest. No, it's gold, it's a treasure. It's kinda cold right now. Let me keep you warm in this weather now. Loving you is my calling. Girl, I'm ready to put my all in, yeah. I'ma show you what it feels like to be loved. Hold you down when we pop out, girl, I hold you up. No other feeling compare. My intuition sends your love in the air. Baby, just hold tighter if you feel that you scared. I know the way you feel and really feel like it's real. Ain't no probably. Wanna know how it feels having you on this side of me. Instantly, intimacy, enjoy your company. Tenderly and gently, that's the vibe for me, yeah. Get you ain't going nowhere. This state of love, girl, I wanna go there. You the biggest drip, I don't need no mind clear. Girl, I'm ready, let me know whenever your mind clear. You take an inch or a mile, I'll take it with you. The life you wanna create, baby, can I make it with you? Stay down, let's get it, girl, I wanna run this cake up with you. Yo, not you better, don't you ever bring no maker with you. Babe, I'm serious, I don't mind playing the long game. Follow your lead, be your shadow, wanna be your only. When I'm in your presence, I wanna hold you closely. Give you everything I got, you is what you own me. Ain't no probably. Wanna know how it feels having you on this side of me. Instantly, intimacy, enjoy your company. Tenderly and gently, that's the vibe for me. Hey. Put it up, boom, boom, boom.
It's been a long day.
It's Friday. Yeah.
Pull out the iPhone, I see a text. She want the python, she want the sex, so it's going down, going down.
I need you to
Wine for me. I like the way you wind it up. Wine for me. I like the way you wind it up. Wine for me. I can feel it in my body, and I'm looking for a body that can calm me down, cool me down. I need you to wine for me. I need your loving tonight. You look real good, so I know how it can feel when you hold me down, hold me down. The way you love and I can tell how you feel when you hold me down, hold me down. I need you to wine for me,
baby.
I like the way you wind it up, wine for me,
Right. Baby. Please wine.
I need you to
Wine for me.
I like the way you wind it up. I like the way you wind it up. I wanna feel for me. I can feel it in my body. I'm looking for a body that can hold me down. Hold me down. I know you love and I can tell how you feel when you hold me down.
Welcome to the church today.
Yes.
It's church today, man. Listen, welcome into the house of bears and bubbles, man. I'm feeling good. Are y'all feeling good?
I'm feeling groovy, baby. Yes.
It's Friday morning, and I gotta tell y'all, I done came down, hold up, slipped the game, I hold up. I got some drink in my car. I got some drink in my cup in this bitch early Friday morning. I said, I done came down, I done hold up, grip the grain, I done roll up. What's up, family? Y'all know
Still
what time
got
it
it.
is. We're going to check out the
There we
first 5 in line.
Who
Those
kicked
are our
in the door?
first
Who
5
kicked in the
students.
door? Who
Hey, one
kicked
day
in
there's
the
going to be a
door?
cash giveaway for this shit. This show going to be worldwide. There's going to be a cash giveaway for this shit. Look at that. Peace.
Thank you, peace.
Hit us with a $4.99. What at that? Let me put peace up on the screen. Peace. Hey, look, let's check out our first 5 in line. Those are the first 5 students that was eagerly anticipating getting to class. We got Devoted Touch. She says, Divine Risings family. We got the lovely Sophia Moore. She says, Good day, family. We got our homegirl, Kanae Monique. I call her Kanique. She says, Salute, fam, with the bears and bubbles emojis. Then we got our sister, Razzle Dazzle. What's up, y'all? Then we got our homegirl, Tennessee Hot Chicken. I appreciate my brothers and sisters. She remember I used to say that, say come in. You see how Hop come in and say, I love my brothers and sisters. So that's something I always said. Some of the students forget shit. But who is number 6? Who is the wonk? Y'all already know who the wonk is.
Who's the wonk?
Trey Prue.
Hey,
You are the
Trey.
wonk. Your job is to hit this link. I'm gonna put it up so you can see it real quick. Bing, 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 bing. Waiting for it to come up. Bing, 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 bing. Boom. When she come in, you're gonna hit that link and come in and wrap up today's lesson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When I say wrap up today's lesson, just what it meant to you. It ain't no right, it ain't no wrong. It's just how you feel. Before we get into the recap, I'm gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about today.
What you talking about?
Staying in your own lane.
Oh, yeah.
Stay in your own lane and go with your own momentum.
Yeah.
See, when you driving, you got to choose your lane and you got to choose your speed.
Yeah.
You can't jump on behind no motherfuckers driving fast just because they driving fast or switching lanes just because other folks driving fast. That's why I don't like to follow nobody. I like folks to follow me. If I'm driving somewhere, they say, follow me. I said, no, you follow me, motherfucker. Because I don't do all that all over the place. I got a lane and a speed.
Yeah.
I got a lane and a speed, and I'm never going to change for nobody. I got a lane and a speed. I'm going to talk about that today. But before I get into that, I want to talk about, let my old lady, Chris, talk about the recap,
baby. Yes. Yesterday was about stop being a scatterbrain. Don't be a scatterbrain. Don't be just thinking about stuff without thinking about what you're thinking about. Use your metacognition. Trace your steps back. It's Tazzy Taz said yesterday, what entertains you trains you. So that's why you have to not be all over the place. You have to, what's the word? Be deliberate about what you're thinking. Because if you're deliberate about what you're thinking, it will make you concentrate on what you're focusing on. You will realize, oh, I'm supposed to be feeling good today. Oh, shoot, deliberate thinking. Oh, I'm thinking about some fuck shit. Oh, let me get out of there, Rocky. You know what I'm saying? What else? Master Teacher said he is a free liver because he's a focused thinker. He's always been a focused thinker. Yeah. And so I used to always be like, you're so smart. How do you like? He like, I'm paying the fuck attention. I'm being a deliberate thinker. I'm being a focused thinker. I've been like that since I was a kid. I've been the one to ask the why. I've been the one to say, I'm not doing that because everybody doing that. He's paying attention to the movies that's out there. He's paying attention to the songs. He has always gotten the messages because he's been deliberately thinking about what he's thinking about and what he's focusing on. And as we all know, what we see now, a lot of us have been in default, just driving around town, not seeing how we got there, getting up every day, not telling ourselves how we want to feel. We're just falling into feeling some type of way. So I love it. And remember, if you go back to the picture we had, the bottleneck, I mean, that's like a lot of people said they think that it's their best board yet, because it lets you see, like, look how narrow your sensory receptors are, and look how skinny of your working memory it is, but you filling your bottle up with fuck shit with your long memory fill of pink. So yeah, I'm so excited about staying in your own lane. Master Teacher, are you ready? And look, I've been good while he's getting ready. I'm telling you, I always use me. I want people to see they ain't alone. But like, I have a favorite movie, Grease, and when it came down to it, I only like the damn end. I don't really care about nothing else in there. So, but it was a whole message in the movie. Here you go, message teacher.
Yeah, I can come on that, on deliberately focusing and deliberately watching. That's good that you started that. Let me pop her up a little bit. Bring the bass a little bit.
Yeah. It is really good about that.
I want to talk about deliberate focus and staying in your lane. See, when you live the same old boring ass life every day, you don't have to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like staying in your lane driving home. You know how to get home from your job. You know the speed limit. You know how to get to the corner store.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to focus. You can get in your car, be mad at your girlfriend, mad at your wife, mad at your old lady. You think about picking your kids up from daycare. Only thing you're doing is just cruising, chilling. Same old boring, mundane life that don't take no focus.
Mm-hmm.
I can drive from here to the goddamn my mama house with no focus. That's the same old plain route. You know what I mean when you driving down the road and you ain't looked up at the road in a while and you just kind of know the road and your hands kind of just turn automatic. That's that same old boring, mundane life. That takes little focus. My wife, I had never watched the movie Grease really until I got with her. And she like, I love Grease, I love Grease, I love Grease. And I seen it as a child, but I looked at it as some old folks shit. And I didn't really get it. So I didn't really watch it. It was white folk shit to me. I had a black and white TV coming up. So she took me to see Grease on Broadway, like at the DPAC, the Durham Performance Arts Center. It was basically the same show that they show all over the world. Same show in Broadway, same show in Vegas. And I just liked it. I just got the whole story and everything. So when we got home, I said, let's watch the movie. We watched the movie. After the movie, I get to talk to her about the movie. Why you like it? She don't know a goddamn thing about the movie. She don't know the storyline that the guy had went, met the bitch during the summer. He didn't fuck her. They lied to each other. She lied to her friends to seem cool. The guy, he joined the church. She doesn't get none of this shit. All she got was, at the end, Olivia Newton-John had on some hot pants and was smoking a fucking cigarette.
With some red candies.
You better straighten up. Even when as far as to having me doing this thing with her in a couples talent show, we won and she bust out crying because it didn't go her way. I said, you don't even know the fucking movie. How many times you watch this movie? 100. So you just been deliberately waiting for your part.
Yeah.
Deliberately skipping everything else. Deliberately choosing not, the cars look good, did this look good, did this look good. I ain't watching, I ain't focused.
Yeah.
And that's how we go through life. When it's boring and when it's the same old mundane shit to us, we just deliberately choose to not focus. Now, let me read something to you. This fucked me up, and it might fuck you up if you ever seen it, but you may not have seen it because they never take you this part. When you're deliberately trying to mind fuck somebody, I can get up here every day and try to mind fuck somebody, like Jim Jones or something. I'm going to talk about Ihanala Robo Shy, A-Shake-Yeke. Oh, Robo Shy. Yay, Lord. Yay, source. Let me show you how deliberate black people have chosen not focus. Y'all have seen it in church. Ihanala Robo Shy, A-Shake-Yeke. Oh, Robo Shy. Fall out in the floor, the spirit. Grandma, grandpa, everybody doing this shit, taking it so serious. But these people have chose to deliberately stay blind, deliberately not read, deliberately not learn, and the pastors have deliberately tricked them, and then they deliberately tricked us. No good goddamn well they ain't know what the fuck they were saying. We're going to talk about this pink shit in this bottle today, really. Speaking in tongues, everybody said, he's coming in 100 times. Everybody just said something.
Yeah.
Because the person ahead of them said something. Let's read what this shit say. Acts chapter 2 in the King James Version. Read! He reads his name up. And when the day of Pentecost, what day was it? Of Pentecost. I'm not going to do no shit like that. That's when you know a nigga can't read, first of all. He can't read the King James Version with commas and make it sound right. So I'm gonna read the King James Version and make it sound right. Then I'm gonna translate it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when the day of I might need to say read. Seriously. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, then they were all gathered on one accord. And suddenly there came a wind from heaven, a rushing wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And then there appeared among them cloven tongues, as of a fire set upon each of them. And they were filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues as the tongue gave utterance. And there were dwelling in Jerusalem devout men out of every nation. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying to one another, Behold, are not these which speak Galileans? And how we hear every man in our own tongue wherein we were born. Parthians, Medes, Elamites, the dwellers of Mesopotamia, Judea, Cappadocia, Pontus, Phrygia, Pamphylia, Egypt, and the parts of Libya, Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, and Jews from all over the world. Now let's break that down a little bit better. And suddenly on the day of Pentecost, it's saying the 12 disciples was gathered in one place, 120 motherfuckers in the upper room, and cloven tongues appeared on them. Cloven tongues appeared on them, and they were filled with the Holy Ghost, and they began to speak in other tongues. A tongue is a language. That's where they stopped at. Chapter verse 4, and they were filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave utterance. All you got to do is drop down one line, and there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the day of Pentecost. So Jews had came from all over the world to make their sacrifice at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when this was noised about, everybody got talking about this shit, the multitude came together and were confounded, because every man heard them speak his own language.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I'm from here. How is these motherfuckers preaching the gospel in our language? And then it goes and lists. It says, and they were all amazed and marveled, saying to another, Behold, are these not Galileans who speak? What's Jesus' name? Jesus of where? Galilee.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't these not motherfuckers from Galilee?
Mm-hmm.
How is they speaking the language of Parthians, Medes, Elamites, Mesopotamia? They wasn't saying no fucking Handala Robo Shy. You goddamn dumb ass niggas got us tricked and bewitched,
Mm-hmm.
thinking we can talk to God and motherfuckers just babbling.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma did it.
Mm-hmm.
Old fool.
Mm-hmm.
Old fool. And passed that shit to me and stood over me. You better speak, boy. You better speak.
Yeah.
Grandma, I ain't gonna do nothing but say, he's coming in the Honda, time I tie. You better speak. So I hit her with the, hey, shit, what I heard them say.
Mm-hmm.
They clapped. Yeah, you started the foundation of our lives on a fucking lie because you chose not to be deliberate.
Yeah.
You chose to be a lazy fucking thinker. You didn't want to stay in your fucking lane and go in your own momentum. You wanted to be somebody.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you got the Holy Spirit, that means you somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Sat here as a race.
Yeah.
Got us fucking foolish.
Yeah.
Not thinking with our minds. See, God wouldn't have never let us get to that. If there's a true God, he wouldn't have never said, y'all motherfuckers can talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you hear from the Lord?
Mm-hmm.
If the Lord and God is real, if he spoke the heavens into existence, that means his voice, that means thunders and earthquakes and shit move. You can't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
What's your point, Javon? Stay in your fucking lane and go with your momentum. How does this tie together, Javon? Because you're deliberately choosing to ignore your lane. You're deliberately choosing to try to get up with somebody else's momentum. Now, let me tell y'all how I live my life so you can get this. I got a saying, right lane, cruise control.
Mm-hmm.
Right lane, cruise control. That's me. Now, I ain't trying to tell you how to drive. I'm going to just give you some game. Because sometimes I'll be driving with a little weed in there. I have driven with a little drink in there. But even if I got a little weed or drink, or if I'm sober with nothing, I'm right lane cruise control because I know my perception. It's like boxing or martial arts. When a motherfucker got his hands up, he can guard his face. He can guard here. And boxing is so sweet because these niggas know if a nigga swing at me here, if I block this, he got to come here next. It's just so much.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look at that how I look at my driving. I know me. Right lane, cruise control. I'm going to stay in the right lane because it's a 4-lane highway, 8-lane highway, 2-lane highway, 4-lane. Right lane, cruise control. I'm going the right lane and the speed is always the same. So I know only thing I have to ever watch is my left mirror right here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything coming up behind me too fast, I see that. I'm going the speed limit. Cops ain't got no reason to fuck with me. Right lane cruise control. So anything in front of me, if your brake lights slow down, I'm slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to hit nothing in the ass. But I'm not worried about no speeding ticket. And I'm not worried about no reckless driving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not worried about no wreck unless you hit me in the ass because I'm a right lane cruise control.
Mm-hmm.
Right lane cruise control.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I call my Chinese man. When I tell the Chinese man, right lane cruise control. Stay with that. That's just me. That's how I live my life. I know who Javon is. That's my name.
Mm-hmm.
And my speed is my speed. You can't force me to do nothing no faster than you want me to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us, we want to get out of our lane and get shit at a faster speed. What do you mean, Javon? Right lane, cruise control, that's how I live my life. I only have to worry about certain things because of the lane and the momentum I'm in. Right lane, cruise control. I know my lane and I know my speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's wrong with the world. Social media and the closeness of people has made it to where you want to get out of your lane and go at somebody else's speed. Let's go. I done said this before, but I started my momentum today. Your 7th grade self, that's you. By the time you got in the 7th grade, you had a lane and you had a speed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who the fuck you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's who the fuck you are. And all of your depression, sadness, and anger and tears is because you're not trying to run your lane and your speed.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lane and a speed, and life wasn't hard or depressing until you tried to get out of it and be something for someone else. Let me explain to you what I mean. I was good at every fucking thing. I was that nigga. And I was full speed ahead. That's who I was. But people used to try to put me in this lane. You an athlete. No, I'm not an athlete. I won the storytelling contest. I won a spelling bee too, motherfucker. And I'm an academically gifted. Don't try to put me, I'm who the fuck I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But when you know yourself, I had so many options. I knew I was going to college for sports or academic. Just that simple. What are you saying, Javon? You know yourself. You know what you're capable or incapable of. Right now, everybody in this class know the level of income that they're capable of maintaining. You know the level of man or woman you're capable of getting. You know the lifestyle that you're capable of getting because you know your true blue, know what you is and what you're not going to do. So stop trying to say you want this. Stop trying to say you want that. Stop trying to say you want abs. Stop trying to say you want to go here. Just stop. Stay in your lane, your speed. If you this, just be it.
Mm-hmm.
When you was in fucking 7th grade, you knew if you was going to college or you knew if you was going to work at the local cotton mill. You knew if you was going to join the military. You fucking knew. So many motherfuckers out here in this world that we worried about that in the 7th grade, we wouldn't have even been able to sit near them.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning in the 7th grade, you was too pretentious, too smart, too quirky, too lame, too cornball to even want to go over here and chill with these motherfuckers. You knew if you walked past the football table or the basketball table or the cheerleader, somebody was going to trip your ass up and make fun of you. So you stayed in your fucking lane and you kept in your momentum and you kept to your fucking self. That's what's happening. We got so much access to everything else. We didn't forgot who the fuck we is, True Bluely. I'm going to run my motherfucking mouth and do nothing else. That's me, Jack. Woo! That's how it always has been for me. I can run my motherfucking mouth and folks will listen. I ain't doing a goddamn thing else. What's your lane, Javon? Run your fucking mouth. What's your momentum? Run my mouth like I want to, when I want to, in my class, when I want to. It's a brother hit me up, say, hey man, think of a logo. I said, I got one. He said, I'm going to figure it out and make it for you. He said, all you got to do is do this. I'm going to help you out with all your marketing, all this, make your show professional, create you a new show. I said, okay, well, brother, we'll do that shit. I'm going to run my motherfucking mouth. Momentum will come, baby, if you stay in your motherfucking lane. If you stay in your motherfucking lane, stay in your motherfucking lane. Stay in your lane and let these moments that you live in your life enjoy. I stay in my lane. Most of the time when I'm driving down the road, right lane, cruise control, I ain't looking at nothing but to the right of me. Hey, what's the pretty shit on that side of the road? I don't care. Because I'm in the right lane, and if I had to look that way, that might distract me. Right lane, oh, that's the pretty tree on the right side. Okay, I'll look over there. I ain't looking to do nothing else but run my fucking mouth. Anything you got for me, any opportunity you got for me, if it don't require me just running my motherfucking mouth, no. No. I know myself. I know my lane. I know what I'm going to do. I know myself. I know my motherfucking lane. I know what I'm going to do. Most of the time, we are sitting here trying to get things and assess things and have things that ain't even in our lane and ain't even our speed. Stop trying to be something you know you're not. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. You are your 7th grade self. So your memories of social society is 7th grade. So when you see big nigga shit, talking nigga like me, talking big shit, big dick nigga shit, nigga that done fucked a lot of bitches shit, that hung all over the world and done shit, you in the 7th grade, you looked up, you said, look at that Javon over there. I can't even sit at his table. I can't stand that son of a bitch. So when I come out here talking this big dick nigga shit now, you still your 7th grade person. I'm still the 7th grade Javon. Big dick shit talking nigga. I can say something now. I can disagree. I got an opinion now. No, motherfucker, you got a phone and an app because you used to have to earn your opinion to speak. Amongst niggas like me. That's what's wrong with you. You in too many circles speaking that you wouldn't have got to speak in at first. And it's fucking with your head. It's depressing. You wouldn't even got to see what happened at the orgy. Now they post the orgy online. You can't get to no orgy, nigga. You ever been to an orgy, nigga? I done been to plenty of orgies. For a man to get in an orgy, you got to show up with at least 4 women. They like, motherfucker, you can't bring, they don't care how much money you got. You can't roll up with 4 bitches, you can't get in no orgy. Because as a man, you ain't nothing but an extra dick. And them women in there want to have a good time, suck some big dicks, and fuck. So money don't make you have a big dick and can fuck good. So if you show up as a nigga with 4 women, they know, okay, this nigga laying some hammer, he got 4 bitches on his arm. Why do you keep saying like you been the one?
I'm agreeing.
Put the camera on you.
No.
Look at her. I was trying to say it was like a long time ago. I used to do this. She like,
that makes sense. It makes sense.
It was me, Keisha, and it was me and 3 other bitches. She know I showed up. I said, baby, if you want to go, I got to get 3 of my other bitches. She said, well, I want to see what's going on in there. I said, talk to her about it for a second. I need to see
oh my God.
Like this is back in the
Listen,
day. Like,
it makes sense.
We went.
Listen. I'm just saying in my imagination, but it makes sense to me because you get into the room, you don't know if you ain't never been there. So I've had a lot of experiences. especially does since being with you, where when I have this conversation with other dudes just trying to get their confidence up, I realize they don't have no idea. They haven't lived it.
You ain't never done no shit like that.
Yeah, and
you
if
can't pay for that shit.
Yeah.
You can't pay for your old lady to let you pick your baby mama and bring the child home. You can't pay for that shit. You got to stay in your lane and be you, man. You got to. A lot of you motherfuckers could have a lot more that you really want if you just was you. You get what you want.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, if you was a sweet girl in the 7th grade doing all your schoolwork, you don't need that guy. You couldn't have got him in the 7th grade. What you want him for now? You think your ass poked out some that you you was ugly duckling that turned into a made up wig head ugly duckling. Oh, my ass got fat. I can get some. No, you still an ugly duckling with wigs and makeup on. You still a cornball wig with a fucking Gucci belt and some shiny shoes and a goddamn Flago hat. I got a new Flago hat, man. Man. I got a Flago hat. Hey, man, what's happening? Remember when Marvin Gaye, that song come on? You walk up, hey, man, I got a Gucci belt. What's happening? I got a new Flago hat, man.
Stop it.
That's why this shit fun to me. I'm telling you, when I start getting paid a certain amount of money for this shit gonna be even more fun. Cause I'm gonna be stupid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be stupid in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But listen, what I'm trying to say is, stay in your fucking lane and want what you want out of life.
Mm-hmm.
You looking at social media, looking at other people's lives, you wouldn't even knew this shit was like that. I want to go to college. You ain't never been on no college campus. You don't know how that shit is. What the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck is you talking about? You know good goddamn well you was going to be a cop or join the military when you was in high school. My man got mad at me because I told him he was arguing with me one day. He was bragging. I guess, sometimes people judge each other's lives off each other's lives, So he heard me say in high school, we joking, he said, I'm going to the military. You scared to go, Clark? I said, yeah, I am scared to go to the military. I said, you ain't got no other fucking option, nigga. You a goddamn recruiter's dream. Front line, field artillery, fucking 38 on the ass app. You just smart enough to get killed first. You just smart enough to be crispy at it. Bitch, if you was one more point short, we couldn't even trust you to pull a cock back on the gun. So when I said that in high school, he didn't judge our lives the whole life. Now I give him credit. He done did 25 years in the military. Retired early. Think he might have did 30 or some shit. Retired early. Now he's a security guard for a lead security company. And he was by here. You know my man. He come by here. Got a house in Briar Creek, big house. And he judged our lives so much. So he be on the road with this security company a lot. And he was like, yeah, man, I ain't do bad for a nigga that ain't had no choice in high school, no options. Look at my house, look at my cars. And he was like, my house like 4 times bigger than yours. I said, yeah, nigga, you always on the road. You don't get to live in your house. I be in this bitch all day. I said, somebody probably fucking your bitch while you gone too. Hey, you want to be funny, I'll cut you deeper. That's what I do, I cut, nigga. You still a no option military nigga. Want to be like me. Been judging your whole life the whole time. I go to Briar Creek, fuck the bitch now. The bitch like me anyway. I go right over there and fuck the bitch while you don't want your security details. You pussy ass nigga, he ain't my friend no more. Judging like that man been walking around since goddamn 11th grade saying, one day I'm gonna get out of the military, get me a pretty gal, get me a house, and then I'm gonna go buy your bars and tell him I'm better than him. I said, nigga, I don't work. I'll stop this goddamn live and go get my dick sucked in the front yard. Hey, Shorty, I need you to come over and suck my dick real quick on the live. Yeah,
Lord, y'all master teacher.
I'm joking. I'm
and then she gonna do
I stayed in my lane. I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I got me a woman that stay in their lane. People used to be like, how could you be polygamous with 2 women? Well, both of them were natural, pretty. They did each other's hair, did each other's nails. They don't like, my wife don't need all that shit to be pretty. My wife 47. I don't spend no money on no nails and shit. We can do each other's feet around the goddamn house. See, I stay in my lane.
Yeah.
I stay in my lane. So somebody asks me all the time, Man, how much money you make? You must be getting it. You don't work. I can fool them. Hell yeah, I got millions of dollars. I'm just, no. Hey, nigga, I stay in my lane. I don't need that shit. Every day you see me, I got on a Black George t-shirt. I don't need that shit.
Yeah.
You hear me? I don't think they understand what I'm trying to say.
I hope they
stay
do.
In your lane, you don't waste time
Yep.
in your life letting shit in your bottle.
Yeah.
I didn't need that shit when I was in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
I was a cute, tall guy with curly hair. I knock your ass out on the football field. I could dunk by the 8th grade. I ain't never had no fancy clothes. By the time I started smoking reefer in the 8th grade, I damn sure wasn't gonna spend my reefer money on no good shoes. Shit, I spent all my money on reefer. I stayed in my goddamn lane. I've always just liked to get high and fuck. So when they say, how you live without a job? Man, I don't need no job to get high and fuck. I can pick up beer cans and pay my mortgage, man. What you talking about? I stay in my lane. Now, that don't mean I ain't gonna have a lot of money one day, because everything that I ever wanted will be given to me. I got brothers and sisters that be like, hey, Jay, when this shit click, I'm gonna cut you a check, my nigga. Jay, when I do this, I'm gonna break you off. And unless they come on the Bears and Bubbles morning show and present me with it, I ain't telling nobody. So you will never know if I got some goddamn money or not. See, that's the thing. We think once we can travel and show some money, folks think we good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize there's a saying, more money, more problems. Then you realize, damn, don't nobody love me anyway. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Your own momentum. You know what you can do. Accept your lane and your momentum and be a deliberate thinker. Be a deliberate reader. Stop listening for what already suits your pink or yellow. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what I mean? Stop living life letting your goddamn blue sensory receptors open or close based on your pink or yellow. Hey, sweetheart, I want you to introduce you to this guy. He's a good friend of mine. Well, every time I ever been introduced to somebody, it didn't work. So your sensory receptors don't even let you listen at the man or chill with him to see what he worth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every time this happened, or closing your shit when some need to come out.
Mm-hmm.
You might need to say the right thing about a situation, but all you got is pink. Make some shit up to say.
Yeah.
I ain't never not got hired every job I ever went to. They hired me, I promise you. Because I make up in my imagination some shit to say. My first job in my life, I used to work at Middleburg Steakhouse. I was a bus boy. That meant after everybody got finished eating, I cleaned off all the tables. My job, after I did that, I cleaned the shit off and I would put the tips in a tip jar for the waitresses. This was some high dollar shit. Why did they hire a nigger there? This is some shit that was open from like Wednesday to Sunday, some high dollar shit back home. So I got fired for stealing so many goddamn tips that I was leaving one day, my pockets was so big, the owner said, hey, Javon, just keep those tips. Ain't no need to come back. Being greedy. That man knew all the goddamn bus boys stole tips. But I'm trying to hide and sneak out with my hands in my pocket. He said, you ain't got to hide your hands in your pocket. Don't even come back tomorrow. Motherfucker, you have a party of 8. They sit there and eat steaks and drink a bottle of wine afterwards. Then y'all think y'all niggas, look, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Black people go to Ruby Tuesdays and post a steak. Them motherfuckers come in there, eat a hand-rubbed steak that costs $120. They don't even eat the whole steak. After that, they order 4 bottles of wine. They drink 4 bottles of wine. Then they goddamn get cups of coffee and tiramisu and some shit.
Mm-hmm.
What was my point in telling that story?
That we ain't really spending the money we think we spending on.
No. I'm accepting my lane. Yeah.
I knew what job I can get as a fucking kid.
A fucking busboy. A fucking busboy. But what I'm saying is, when it's time to use your imagination, I remember when I first tried to get a job at McDonald's. They said, you ever work a cash register? I said, yeah, at Burger King. But there's different than that one. No, I'm serious. They gonna have to show you how to do what the fuck you gotta do anyway.
Yeah.
Ain't like the goddamn cash register the same. I got out that bitch. They said, I thought you worked a cash register. I said, I have, but it's different than the one here. I made up some shit. There's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to just imagine some shit to come out of your bottle. If your shit is so pink and you can't focus on nothing coming out of that bottle, because what come out of that bottle is your perception. I mean, it's your personality, your personal reality. See, what we don't realize, the girl, I think my man said it yesterday. He said, what entertains you trains you. You get it? So watch my hand, Chris. I want you to see this because you my number one fucking student. Y'all believe it or not, Chris, my number one goddamn student. I really need her ass to get this shit. He said, what entertains you, what you let in, trains you. It becomes your thought process. So when it's time for something to come out, you can only let out what's in you.
What you believe about
There was a time where I knew I was good with women and this, that, and the other, but I grew up on a farm, house with no bathroom, broke, poor, dirt poor. I didn't realize land was the biggest thing. But when it came to money, being successful financially, there was a time where I ain't had nothing in me. Nothing green. Tell them about that, Chris. I mean, in your own words, how you feel about that? When I always tell them, just talk on that.
Oh, about what I experienced from you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because it's funny they say that because I'm looking at him and he looks like this street dude that I could put in Tim's and he's straight country. So in understanding like how we see money and how when we first got together, and which worked out for my benefit because what I had was a great step up, but it still ain't what a lot of other people have. And so to see that he come from this background of this country, when I go to the country and see how they live, is really like, I'm not going to say, to me, I looked at it as more primitive, but as I got to know him, I'm like, yo, he doesn't look like how he's been raised. So women don't really get what they're getting until they get with him.
It's like a woman. Even if I had money, a woman said, let's go out. I'd be like, okay, we'll choose some shit.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, you ain't bitch, I ain't spending no more than $20 on you.
Yeah.
That was too much money.
Yeah.
It wasn't no restaurants that had $20 plates where I'm from. Go to Skillet, man. You can get a goddamn whole family meal for $20. That was my mind. That was my mind. If I didn't have a certain amount of money coming in, I always felt bad. I always felt broke. I never could vision, and for so many years I talked on Facebook without ever saying send a cash out or somebody give me something, because I just always felt, why would somebody give you something for talking? I didn't think people would do that. I thought that was like preacher shit, charlatan shit. Now, in my mind, what I'm doing up here now, there was a time that I thought what I was doing was scamming people. Because I looked at, what a motherfucker gonna pay you to tell them how to do something for? That's crazy to me. But it's not now.
And if I could add,
told me, yo, bro, I was depressed. You saved my life. Stop me from doing. Then I'm like, oh, okay. What I'm saying is more valuable than fucking actually selling you some weed, nigga.
Yeah. And if I could add, like, y'all have to be very thankful for the master teacher and what he does, because for me at first, as much as I wanted to help, I didn't think the information should be given for free. I knew that people would pay him for it because I understood how it was sitting in church giving my money away because I thought the pastor gave a good word. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Stop deliberately looking for the thing that fits what's already in the bottle. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? This yellow and pink that's already in the bottle, that's not you. You are who you allow, what you allow in your bottle each day. All of this pink in this bottle, can be overshadowed daily to where you will start thinking green about these subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have the experiences to make you think green, then make them up, motherfucker.
Yeah. Wow.
Use your imagination. That's why I said this is actually a hard lesson to teach, because you get certain points and certain points. That's what I'm saying, man. Your bottle can be refilled. You're never going to erase and forget the pain that you done went through. You ain't going to forget that trauma that your 6th grade teacher told you you won't shit. That is going to be there. But that don't mean you can go to college. My wife, real quick, because I'm done for today. Explain to him about the word beautiful and what it did to you. And then explain to you what you're doing now. Let me go check on her.
Okay. So yeah, and I think I had kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we talked about words, and I spelled beautiful wrong in the 4th grade spelling bee, and it really messed with my psyche on what I thought beautiful was and how I didn't feel beautiful, and you know, I missed the standards that people say are beautiful, like it's based on like white standards or whatever. It's funny that he said that, because I was just writing down that during my 7th grade self, those years from like 4th to like 8th grade, I was different religions. And so even through me being different religions, I wasn't the most popular, but I wasn't the cornball kid. I just didn't want to do no work. So I just skipped school a lot. However, though, what I'm saying is that I was taking away the outer appearance. My hair was covered. I had to wear skirts. I still had boyfriends. I still had friends. So I was really able to maneuver in life without having the end things. The thing that killed that for me is my life being in the streets, you know, drug dealing, the fake life that you could buy things to make yourself better. It kind of pushed me all the way back, like undid what I had happened to live just based on my mother's, you know, decisions in her relationships. And so now I'm back to that 7th grade person who was able to walk through the school with a veil on, you know what I'm saying, and still think that some dude was gonna want to holler at me, you know, and still manage to not have low self-esteem about that. So, you know, the world will kill that. But
And let me say this before you do the review.
mhm.
You spun it on a whole different level than I thought you was, because I thought you was going to talk about how tell them how that made you say you would rather be sexy than pretty.
Yeah, I would rather
and how that affected your life, and how misspelling that word made you thought you was dumb, and how now you finna have a PhD.
Yeah. So
Baby, we got to get on one accord. I need you to know what I want you to say.
Well, it still
the
it
way you
goes
explained
together
it-
though,
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
and that is a pivotal part, because that word made me feel dumb, and spelling the word wrong made me feel dumb, and then made me not feel pretty myself. I'd spun it as if, well, I'm not gonna go to school and I'm gonna use my body to upsell me. You get what I'm saying? And that's why when I went into being in the streets and stuff, it was easy for me to do that. I didn't have to be smart, and I led with my body. You know what I'm saying? So it actually became a comfortable place for me to just coexist in. However, it didn't allow me to walk in the truth of my blue that I had already lived in, you know, experienced. So, and then going into school, it's funny that you say that with the school thing, because yeah, I realized I just been lazy brain. I didn't want to, but however, I had wrote down when I go to school, it's still like my 7th grade self. Like even I'm still on there like Olivia Newton-John, like who I like I'm still having fun there. As soon as I decide to take it so seriously, where I become this intellectual like scholar, like what I think it is, that's when I usually get too vexed. You know what I'm saying? And you like, no, go to school to learn what you're supposed to learn, not to be the top tier, you know, person in there. Because if I look back at my 7-year self, she wasn't that interested, even though it came from the spelling bee. I get that, but
she's graduated summa cum laude.
yeah, 3 times.
Three times.
Yeah, so I'm on my 4th.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, no, it's gonna be 3 times.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yep.
So the situation is basically like saying, let me hit these people off. My bad. I ain't mean to do the drums while you was talking. It
Oh,
could have
no, it's
knocked you
good.
off point. Peace. Watching the world. That's my man Mel. He gonna help me out a lot. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all seen him come up here and say he gonna help me get right. Rodney Harrison. And it was one more, Chelsea Green. We appreciate y'all for the super chats. Y'all already know what time it is. But go ahead and do the recap.
So if
let
me say this too. So if I could go back and see, and I'm glad he said that, because now that I think about even me writing it from my 7th grade standpoint, who I became in 7th grade was based on who I was like in 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? You say your 4th grade self, well, who I was, your 4-year self, who I was in the 4th grade. And that's how I socially maneuvered in my 7th grade self. So I think that was a good question. And I also wanted to add, going through this, when he say, take the pink, if all you have is pink, imagine something that makes it green. Well, I didn't have a great imagination for the things around me because I only knew what I saw, right? And I didn't really step outside of those circles. And so what has really happened, and when people don't understand what polygamy can do, outside of the fact that I just was already polyamorous, like I like newness, so I'm gonna like other people. What the women did is that, and me being a total woman, I am a little bit of every woman that you have seen come into our circle, and the ones I call my twins, and the doc, and all those, like all you women that come up here that somehow stand out to me, that show me, like it's a part of me as I'm becoming an entertainer. When I see y'all love get up there and got her sway on, that it makes me want to have the strength to go up there and really be on the stage. You know what I'm saying? So I use y'all as a pieces of my imagination, and I fill my bottle up because my bottle was pink because in my adolescent years, I filled it up with the street stuff, and all of that stuff was fake stuff. So I do have great accomplishments of being a business owner and all these type of things. That was great. But who I was as a person and how I saw my life and how I saw others was based on the pink people around me. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. I said a long time ago, open relationships are what's going to change the world. And when I say open, I mean honest and open, because everybody's in open relationships, because everybody seems to have children and not married. And so everybody has already been open. But the truth of these relationships are going to change the world. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if people could have told the truth. Like my song, I'll play that before we get out of here. My song, like, imagine if a man could have said, I don't want a child by you. We was having sex raw. I don't want to have a child by you. But I will do what I can and to be a father, but we can't be together. I think this is going to ruin our life. I don't think the women would have had these babies like they did. But if the dude would have been more honest and open and said, well, look, I'm going to go to the doctor with you. I'm going to do what I should do, but I don't want to go with you. Those truths, we would have great co-parenting situations. You know what I'm saying? We had motherfuckers lying and saying they love, and it's just so many things where, like, I've raised so many children that aren't mine. And one thing I do know is if you raise a woman's child for her, she gonna want to fuck you. Like the kids I used to coach on the football team, they mamas used to try to give me some pussy. That's when I came up with the idea of open monogamy, because I was like, why y'all keep trying to fuck? And y'all see I got this little van and I'm picking 8 boys up. Ain't nobody offered me no gas money, no baloney. Ain't nobody offered me no goddamn charcoal. Ain't nobody bought me a plate that said, thank you, Coach Clark. Everybody want to give me some pussy. So that's how I know a woman feel like no matter what she say, that her body is her ultimate gift. Because you could have gave me gas money. Trey Prue, come on in here and talk to us, sister. Wrap the message up.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Giving honor to God, okay? Listen, we want to acknowledge the classmates. We want to acknowledge the deacons. We want to acknowledge the mother. We want to acknowledge the choir. Good morning, good morning, everybody. I'm not good for presentations. I was the class clown. So yeah, being the wonk, I didn't even think I could be the wonk in Facebook. I thought the wonk came out of YouTube only, but okay.
It's together.
Right. So yeah, I didn't get that message about coming into the classroom. And I appreciate my brothers and sisters, but I do. I like to, as I said, be in the comment section because it helps me to engage. It helps me to remember. And of course, I'm going to say good morning to everybody. And then even extending that, I got a few different friends or people, a couple of friends and a few different people I stay in touch with. But if I could just make myself accountable and help us all, some of the classmates I like to be in the inbox with, I want to say that if I don't get to it, then maybe we can come together and connect in the Blue Dot world together, the ones that I haven't met.
Exactly.
Yes. So speaking on being in my lane and, what you spoke on and how you described it, like being on the road and with this trucking company, and I'm going to continue to use that napkin phrase in the corporate world, and being in my lane as a Black woman, as a woman that they don't know if I'm Black or not, and they don't know how to treat me. They just know that maybe I'm not one of them, and dealing with that discrimination and dealing with different situations. I'm trying to stay in my Blue Dot lane. I'm trying to stay in my blue world, my blue lane, instead of going into that pink while dealing with different scenarios and discrimination with the corporate world. So, I don't want to pink myself. I'm used to losing jobs because I done cussed you out. But, I learned that honestly. And I'm not mad at it. It's who I am. I be done cussed you out and got myself fired. However, it's past time for me to be losing jobs and starting all over. So I'm trying to stay out of that pink and replace that with that green, all the green that you talked about and all the green that I know is out here for me. So I have to do things very professional. I'm, professional enough in the first place. People don't like to have this conversation and talk and break it down and discuss where they're operating from within themselves. You want to just make it seem like, you're operating from this professional place. Yeah, but they're operating from there already. And I have to make sure I do better than that and survive out here myself. Again, then they don't know because I'm respectful. Polite. I'm calm in the beginning, and they don't know how to handle me. They see the little tattoo on my wrist. My first love was Christ, is Christ. So they don't know how to handle me, but I'm trying to show them how it can be if they don't go there with me. Anyway, I'm off track, but not off track, but I wanted to be specific and deliberate in what I said this morning.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, thank you. So being in this career, getting started with this career, I'm nervous. I'm out here. My comfort lane, my lane is being at home, being Nana. It was being a wife. It's always been being a mother. That's my comfort lane. That's my life. Whether just home with my family, whatever the dynamics were dealing with. Now I'm out here in this real world type situation, trying to survive. I'm not in my I'm in my lane for my career track and where I want to be, but it's not my comfort zone. So again, I'm out here and I'm surviving. I'm trying to survive, and I'm flip flopping back and forth. Prime example, I'm still taking my backing classes. The dude that wants to teach me, in his super ego phase, wants me to do it like he does it. Well, that's your lane. That's not my lane. I can't do it like you do it. And you need to slow down a little bit because I need to walk myself through this process without you rushing me, because you set me up to fail because I have to comply with you, and you're setting me up to fail. I need you to come to me and teach me and see what I need to do to get this and operate from there, not your super ego. So I'm dealing with this, and I'm dealing with the discrimination. Apparently, this is my first time in California, and there's, this Latino world, Mexican world out here. I don't have no offense with nobody, but I'm learning a few things about the culture, their culture. And I'm like, don't poop on me because I'm not of your culture. This is my culture, and this is what we do. Talking about they don't like to see women work hard. Well, in my culture, we work hard, you know, and women work hard in my family, and we were hard workers too. So don't short me out on working and progressing just because it's your culture. Culture ain't got nothing to do with this job and driving this truck. And
well, look,
so,
hey, Tracy Prue,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and interrupt you in real life because you didn't got.
I'm on it.
Yeah, you own it worse than Fit Male Shopper right now. But you know it's all love. But I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I appreciate you coming in, sister. Yeah, I think that she in a good situation right now because, like she said, she'll cuss your ass out on the job once she get her license and on the road. Once she get what she got to do, you know, she'll be more free to be by herself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she don't have to deal with somebody standing over her back.
So in her pink, right? Cause and so that she don't make her old comfort pink.
Yeah.
What type of imagination could she add to her bottle? She could see herself already free on the road.
Backing that motherfucker up. And look, this is the thing too. Like she said, Christ is her first love. In her own language, the Bible says always darkest before night, before dawn. Mm-hmm. So you got to think, Tracy, this guy fucking with you on his back and shit, trying to set you up for failure. That's that last little shit. Mm-hmm. That's that last little shit that the dawn is coming. Once you pass that back and shit up, and you get your license, hey, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. And create her comfort. Yeah, man, you're gonna be comfortable. You're gonna be in your lane. Momentum. And I damn sure if I drove a 18-wheeler, I would have to be right lane. Same speed. That's my life. That's my life. Right lane cruise control. Look, it's easy for me to live my life right lane cruise control. Like I'm in the right lane, my lane. I'm looking what I need to see, and I'm going my speed. I ain't got to worry about no police. I can do what I want to do. Right lane cruise control. Right lane cruise control. Police ain't worried about nobody that's in the right lane cruise control. Yeah. He looking for the motherfucker switching lanes and zooming by.
Yep. It's funny that the universe will have her as the walk, and she's
a truck driver. So
yeah.
So fam, y'all can PayPal us at J Clark Products. Y'all can Zelle us at 919-292-5374. And you can always hit us with a mighty, mighty cash app. Last week we had 12 or 14 cash apps. We want to do better than that this week, but what we do is what we do. I'm just sending that out there to everybody that's still watching. Y'all get on the cash app list this week if you can. If you can't, then you can't. You know, it is what it is. I really don't think nobody is just watching and don't send some if they can. You know what I'm saying? I know there have been times I've been wanting to send shit I couldn't send. So, you know, and then when I could send $1, I send $1. But what she said, yes, sir, I have the license. I have to pass it back in course for some accounts. Yeah, so once she get that back in course, then that's their ass. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all. And if all hearts and minds are clear, we're going to get her out of here on a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Let's see, what we gonna Jimmy Jam out on?
You said you was gonna do
Oh my love,
the baby song.
1,000 kisses from you and it wasn't enough.
I'm never amazed at these great lessons.
I just don't wanna stop. Never too much, never too much, never too much. I'm gonna get out of your own control because that's Friday and it's just a control type of day.
Control.
It ain't real. You just gotta be able to control them. This is how you feel. But feelings don't know that. Love don't know the feeling of waiting to be loved. And pain don't wait on healing. Cause pain keeps. Look at her went to sleep in mama arms. And time don't heal a hole. When the wolves don't show their scars, tear down these walls. Unbreak my heart. See, life keeps fighting wrong. For the most part, wrong's too strong.
And when all odds it gets low,
They can't argue to hold it long.
I got upset and really got mad.
And when mad couldn't do it, it went and got sad.
They got it all.
Need to let it all go.
Controlling something you will never have. So why not live life, love, learn, and laugh? Just smile, cause you can't say it's all bad. I need you to know you are not in control.
Thank y'all for staying tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the dopest show on the globe, the dopest show under the universe, the dopest show that floats above the water. If all hearts and minds are clear, we're going to leave this motherfucker with an E Handala, Robo Shy, A Shake Hete, or the Robo Shy. Yay, soars. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Mudras, mudras, mudras.